Yeah, my heart is breaking for these children. Y'all gotta do better as parents. Low income does not mean low functioning, okay? Let's stop accepting that for our reality. Um, these babies. We had an open discussion where we talked about is being miserable because it's one of the prompts. It's not a prompt. They had a story to read, and one of the vocabulary words is miserable. And they were like, well, I don't know what you're going to do because they have testing and you can't administer tests. I was like, I could teach all day on the word miserable, which I did. Here's the Substitute Chronicles. I just left the Wild Wild West. I have to collect my energy. I actually actively call my energy back this instant because I am drained. But these kids lack self-confidence. These kids can't speak for themselves because they're so used to being dictated to. These young ladies literally were talking. One of them was looking me in my eye while she was talking, and I had to check myself because I was like, challenge accepted, sis. But every time I run into, and this is for teacher, every time I run into with a student, I have to check myself. This isn't a power struggle. I can't teach them how to match energy. That's not what we're going to do. So I pulled up a chair next to the ladies, and I was like, why are you guys choosing to disrespect me? I asked you not to talk while I'm talking. You're still choosing to talk. I asked one of you to choose which one of you move. You both refused to move. Now I'm sitting here talking in front of you, and neither one of you have a voice. Why? And they kept looking at each other. I was like, stop using each other to determine who's going to talk and who's going to choose to continue to be disrespectful, because you both are leading each other down the wrong path. Because if I cannot have this conversation, if at any point I choose to enter back into the power struggle, I will just call the front office, and now this has made it home. Is this what you want? No. Okay. So that voice that you were using to talk while I was asking you to stop talking, let's talk about it. Why are you making this choice? Teachers, this is how you resolve these issues with your children. You don't enter into a power struggle. You're the adult in the room. But if you are demonstrating matching energy as your adult self, as the authority, then you are teaching your students to match energy and conflict. You are not teaching your children conflict resolution. You are not teaching your students de-escalation techniques. You're not teaching students, I get it, I was 11 too, and I like to talk too. You're not teaching them how to be respectful. I get it. Here's how you do it. Pass a note. Wait till you can. Whatever it is. No one's teaching these children. And you as an educator, when you have an opportunity to teach them, you just immediately shoot the punishment. So if they're being punished at home, they're being punished at school, and nobody's teaching them how, when will they learn? Initially, I was like, I need to call the front office. I don't know the phone number. It's in my phone, but I gotta direct this class, so I can't be scrolling through my phone. In that time, Spirit talked to me and said, go talk to them. Because first I was like, I'm about to ignore y'all completely. Like, I went to the class and got everybody's name, and I was about to just cut over them because y'all don't want to, like, old energy. Y'all don't want to be a part of this class, so let's go. But I stopped and I got their names like everybody else. I treated them just like everybody else. I need to let these students know, just because you do run into conflict with somebody doesn't mean we're enemies now. That doesn't mean we got a beef now. That doesn't mean, oh, I hate Miss Taylor. Everybody else thinks she's cool. I would think she's cool if she didn't call me out in the beginning of class. But because she called me out in the beginning of the class, I must have a problem with her. I'm going to engage with you like I engage with everybody else because I'm showing you emotional maturity. I'm teaching you how you can bump up against somebody and keep moving forward. And when I was walking by the little chair in the corner, Spirit said, pick the chair up and go talk to them. I picked the chair up. I came and sat to them and sat between them. And I was like, the interesting thing is my chair's down here and they're up there. So I, as the authority, am actually looking up at them instead of down at them, which body positioning is important. So I automatically made me their peer as well as underneath them. Body language. Let's have a conversation. Do we need this to escalate? Why are you guys choosing not to talk? We're asking questions. Why are you guys choosing not to talk? And they couldn't tell me. They couldn't tell me, and I was like, okay, so I have a question about your home environment. Do you have a home environment where people are talking like this? Or do you have a home environment where people are talking like this? I was like, one or two. You ain't even got to give me words. And they both were like, two. I was like, okay, so I'm probably one of the first adults who's actually tried to talk to you. So I get it. Because they said you're making me uncomfortable. I was like, what about this is making you uncomfortable? Because that is not I don't want to make you uncomfortable. I want to de-escalate. And I was like, you don't even got to tell me. I want you to write me a page. I want you to write me a page. I don't want you to be able to blow that up and read it. But I want you to write me a page. And I gave them 3 prompts. That's what I want you to address. And if you do not want this to go further, i.e. me call the front office, because you guys are deliberately being disobedient. You are not stopping talking, and one of you have not moved. You are like, make me if you want to. Energy. And that wasn't even their energy. They just don't know how to respond. No one's taught them except for conflict. You have to understand, if you only have conflict in your home and you do not teach conflict resolution, please watch a YouTube video, parents, on conflict resolution skills. Please pick up a parenting book. Any parenting book will do. Any book is going to give you self-development information if it's a self-development book. Mine's really good too. I gave them 3 prompts. I said, before lunch, I want a complete paper, and this won't go any further than me. I'll read it over lunchtime and I'll respond to it. So that was the first thing I ran into, y'all. I feel like I'm in the wild, wild west, Lord Jesus. And I know now what we did was not school policy. Oh no, I just listened to the kids. But because we went to the playground, we were on the playground from kindergarten all the way to 6th grade. And the principal came and was like, Miss Taylor, I would prefer. I was like, the kids told me. She was like, they know better. I was like, okay. But by then it was their time to go inside. But yeah, y'all, you're failing your children. You're failing your children in the home. You're failing your children in the school. And if you're a person who has an outreach program in the Phoenix area for now, but I travel. If you're a person who has a charter school or a school period where you can make some choices, or the board can make some choices, if you have an outreach program for youth, you need to bring me in so I can observe and train your staff. Because these babies are struggling, and this is the next generation of people who have no idea what they're doing. Because of people who are tasked with raising them, which is every single adult they come in contact with. I don't care if it's that line at the grocery store, their teacher, they mammy, they daddy, they grandmammy. I don't care. Every single one of us is tasked with raising a child that we come in contact. We need to contact with, boop. We need to drop a gem. Not teach them how to be fools. These children are being failed by the adults that have been tasked with raising the next generation, and we're raising a generation of fools.